All right, this is kind of like a three-part video, and it's got to be that way for the sake of argument of editing and everything else. So I was just talking about my E. coli problem that I had. So I bought some grapes from the 99-cent store, which isn't a problem. I've done it before many times. And as I was saying in my previous video, all this stuff has got to be edited. I got to get better at my editing. Please bear with me. So bottom line, for about a week, not that you guys want to hear all the gory details, but for about a week, I had a little bit of diarrhea and just not feeling good. I had a headache for a day or so. Wasn't feeling too good. Walmart or Target? Target or Walmart? Target, right? Yeah. I just came from Walmart. I remember you worked there at Target. How are you guys doing over there with the pandemic? Good? Like no... Yeah, in the beginning, right? In March of last year. Yeah, it was like it hit us in a weird way at the school. I was going to TMA down there, and like so we were going to school 5 days a week, you know, and everything was great. We had to be there at 7 in the morning. So right before graduation, and the school's like 8 months or something like that, 7 or 8 months long, and so it's one of those intense, you know, get there every day, knock it out kind of things. So we're excited about graduating, and I think my class we only started with like 16 or 17 guys, and there was only like 11 of us left. So we were like, let's hang in there, we'll, you know, graduate. And then they're like, oh, by the way, guys, because of this pandemic, all schools are going to shut down, universities, high schools, it doesn't matter, right? Private colleges. So we're like, well, how does that affect us? And they're like, well, we're playing it by ear. We're just getting information from, this is all federal, at a federal, the education level, whatever, board of, you know, education. We're like, whoa, dude, we're like a month from graduating. And so they're like, we're going to keep you guys in the loop. There's no graduation ceremony, unfortunately. You guys earned it, but you're going to get your certificates, but we're going to figure out how to finish this up. So they sent us home, and we were like in limbo for like 2 weeks. Then they started sending out emails and stuff and calling us, and they're like, we're going to do everything by Zoom. So we did like 2 weeks of Zoom, but it's a vocational college. It's all hands-on. You got to touch stuff. You got to, you know, there's machines and machinery, and we're learning by hand, you know. And so they're like, okay, we're going to let you guys come back to the school to finish the hands-on portion, but the math part and, you know, the theory we'll do on Zoom. You guys can do a few projects at home, work out the geometrics and stuff. And then, so we came back to school, and we had to wear masks, and we had to do hand sanitation stations when you walk in and when you leave and all that. And there's no visitors, no your wife, girlfriend, you know, family couldn't come hang out. And when we went to the break room, everybody had to sit separately and all this kind of, most people were eating outdoors.
It's supposed to not have two people at a table, but...
Yeah, and that was in the very beginning, so everybody was like, what do we do? What do we do? We were like, the kids were, or students, we were all adults, but we were all like, screw this, man. So we were like, because we knew each other, so we were like, we've been around each other for the last 7 to 8 months. You know, we didn't realize how severe it was at the beginning. We were like, oh, it's a bunch of garbage, it's just a flu. And so we all sat together. But we made it, everybody graduated, and you know, I stay in touch with those guys. You know, how you guys doing? Oh yeah, I got a job. I'm cool. I'm working, and nobody's sick or anything. But the weird thing about it was for us, before we ever knew there was a pandemic, because we looked at this later. While we were there in school, we saw like, okay, this has been out for a while globally, but we didn't know here because China was embarrassed or whatever. They weren't telling the world that this is from Wuhan, and it got out. So we're like. And we all remember, we said, hey, remember a couple months ago we all got sick, we all had the flu, and we didn't come in for a couple days. And I was like, yeah, and I'm like...
I was sick around Christmas.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's when I got it in
It's
January.
bad. I mean, I can't say I had respiratory.
Yeah, I didn't have that either. I just
definitely
couldn't
had
get out of
a hell
bed.
of a fever. That's
Yeah, I had a headache,
I was
fever.
fatigued.
fatigued. For how long? Like 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, my aunt actually got it in school when she was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
She was out for
How old is your aunt?
Yeah.
She's a little, okay, so it hits people when they're older a little bit more, you know. Yeah. And it hit you in December? Like personally with you?
Yeah.
December? Yeah, mine
It
was
was
like
very
early
late
January.
December. I had to call out 2 days at Target because I was
See,
so
that's-
freaking tired. Man.
That's how, and I'm a very attendance guy. You know, I'm a Marine, so I was like, I don't care if I don't feel good, I'm going.
Yeah.
I took 2 or 3 days, I don't remember off, and it was just not like me. I was getting perfect attendance awards.
So,
And
does that mean it?
That's what I
earlier?
mean. I was
don't
like-
know. I'm so confused.
I thought that too, because when we all said that, we were like, hey, remember? Because when we all got sick, my group, I thought it was just me. You know, I didn't come in for 2 days, and I felt bad. I go, let me just get, and I felt horrible. Like for 2 days, I just need to rest, drink tea, and it was really bad. And then I was just weak and everything.
Yeah.
But I mustered the energy. I said, let me just go. I got to get in there. You know, I can't miss. So I go in there, and the instructor was there, and there were still a couple of kids. I say kids, a couple of guys that weren't there, and I go, hey man, I'm really sorry. You know, I'm always here on time, and I work hard and all that. He goes, don't feel bad, man. He goes, your whole class was
Oh, really?
out. And I go, really? All of us? He goes, all but like one of you. He goes, I thought I did something.
Oh,
And I go, you didn't get sick? And he's like, he's from Cuba, and he's got like these remedies. He's like, oh, I drink water with lemon every day and honey and all that. And he's like, he's an older guy too. He doesn't. He's like 59. I say older. That's not really older,
Yeah.
but he takes care of himself. So he goes, nah. He goes, when I get sick, I'm
Yeah,
not.
my immune system seems to be pretty strong. Anyways, yeah.
I'm usually like
But-
that.
Yeah, and I hadn't had a fever in a really long time too.
Yeah, me
Usually,
neither.
I don't know, I get headaches, migraines every so often, a cold every so often, but the fever was, yeah. it was
Oh
like-
yeah. So we might have had it, me and you,
Maybe.
and where our bodies are immune now
Yeah, I mean,
because of that.
my aunt didn't get sick at all last year. Like,
Uh-huh.
nothing. So
And then boom.
then I came down with the flu, but it was the flu. So I don't want to tell people like.
I
well,
know.
I don't want to call out for a freaking flu, and I know it was. Well, I thought it was a cold at first, but then I was a little fatigued, and then it went away. And
That's what I
was
thought.
I'm like, do I have to get tested because I think I?
But see,
I
the
don't
thing is
know.
weird is back then nobody. I didn't know. You didn't know. We didn't know at
Yeah.
school, and we just were like. And then we narrowed it down to one of the guys in our class. He was working as a bartender at night. So he goes, I'm around a lot of people, and he worked in Pasadena, which is a large Asian community. So he had said, he goes, well, we had a big table from China, and he goes, and I got sick the next day. He goes, and then I didn't come in. He goes, and then I didn't come in here, and he goes, but then I came in after that. And I go, then you got us all sick then. And so we were blaming him, we were kind of teasing him, but we're like, it's your fault. And then later on, we're like, whoa, wait a minute. And we're like, we're not racist or anything, but you said it was a Chinese
you gotta be
family.
careful. Yeah, I just don't get what people say. Like, I get you were joking, you know, but it's
Yeah,
like
we're ribbing it.
they're not unless they came from there at that time. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Right,
Not every Asian person has even been to China. You know what I mean? Or not even China.
My best friend when I was growing up was Chinese. Well, his family's actually he's from there too because he came here when he was like 8. We grew up together. And I told him, I said, do you still? Because we talk all the time. And I said, you still travel? And he goes, yeah, I do. He goes, I monitor, I'm very cognizant. He goes, first of all, when I do go to Beijing, it's a big city. It's not Wuhan. He goes, and I get screened and all that. He has a business. And he goes, I've never gotten it. He goes, thank God. He has a daughter. And so he's like, you know, I didn't know about it either. He goes, but once I found out, I stopped traveling for a little while.
And my aunt was going to go to Arizona, my aunt, and
It's better there, right? Because it's dry climate.
well, this was the beginning of the thing, so like.
Nobody knew.
Well, nothing was even open anyway, so this
Nothing.
last year at around March, yeah, so it's sort of everything was starting. What's the point? I think she might, the only thing is I don't think she got insurance for the ticket, the plane ticket. I think she lost her plane.
Oh, how much was it?
I don't know.
$200 probably.
Yeah, not much. Like
Do you work 2 jobs or is this your only
It's
one?
my only job right now, yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they gave us some bonuses, which was nice.
Okay, that's cool.
$500 bonus in this check or something, which is pretty cool.
I can dig that. Yeah.
Every so often, yeah. And the stimulus checks help too, although I don't want to rely on that too much.
Well, nobody has it. Have you gotten this most recent one?
Yeah.
You did? You got it already?
600, yeah.
Was it how much?
600.
I thought it was supposed to be. Or are they doing it in increments? Like,
I don't know.
'cause I thought it was gonna be more, like
Suppose-
12.
I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if it's a certain criteria or something. For some reason I got 600. I don't know. My aunt got 600. My sister got 600.
Yeah,
so,
I know, man.
so I'm not sure.
Well, I haven't done my
I
taxes
would
yet,
hope
but
some business. Yeah, I got to do it soon too. But I would hope some business owners would get more help. I mean, they can't live on $600. Are you kidding me?
yeah, man. I called my old boss. Well, his daughter, she runs the front office, and I was working there part time. He said he owns a machine shop, and I was like, I'm a machinist, and so he had hired me as an apprentice. But then I had to quit because school was taking all my time. So afterwards, I called, and I go, if you guys still need a guy, and she's like, I'd love to tell my dad to rehire you because you're a good worker, you're a cool guy. But she's like, we're not. She goes, we're busy, but we're not getting paid from the jobs that we're completing, from the jobs that we've worked. They don't have money to pay us. So she goes, my dad even had to give a loan. He's incorporated, so he had to give his own business a loan from his own personal finances to keep the business afloat. I go, that's weird because it's an incorporation. You have to do it like that. And I go, that sucks. She goes, yeah,
A lot of people have that sort of loans and stuff.
yeah, because she's like, she goes, we're busy. We're at work. She goes, but if we picked you up, we don't. How are we gonna pay you when you're not paying us? She goes, but if things change, I'll let you know. And I was like, okay. She goes, but there's work. She's like, you're a graduate now. There's work. And I go, yeah, I know. I'm using agencies and I'm using the schools. Like they have their alumni association, and they call me every month. Hey, did you find anything yet? I'm like, no. Come on to the school. We're having this. We're having, that. I'm like, all right. So I just got to keep plugging away. Because I'm like, I hate working at the warehouses, but it's full time, like 15 an hour, like maybe driving a forklift. And it beats you up, but it's work. That's my thing. Is I want full time, 40 hours or more a week. That might be 18 or 19. It's just rough right now. And then when we first started school, they were like, oh, you picked a great trade. This our trade never goes down, and we're recession proof. And then I'm like, are we pandemic proof now?
You can't make promises like that now.
Yeah.
My cousin worked at a place at a mall. That closed.
At a mall?
Sales and
Oh yeah.
like that's not there's job security and not looking something like this.
Yes, I know.
Closed down at any time. You can get a good hour from the boom. All that has the cases have to spike and that's it.
So scary, man. Yeah, and right now things are